Good morning, welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Monday, October 5th, 2009. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London, 12:30 p.m. in Bermuda, and 10:30 a.m. in Mexico City. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL Instant Mail address is CATEX-TV. On this day in history in 1990, 19 years ago, Germany was reunited after 45 years of separation following the end of World War II. The British actor Clive Owen is 45 years old today. In the U.S., there was some good economic news this morning. For the first time in a year, the services industry index actually went up. The stock market has taken note. It's up about 62 points. We'll now go to our main news. Indonesia's government estimated this morning that the government will need around $628 million for reconstruction in the earthquake-hit areas of Sumatra Island. This amount is earlier than the estimate given by the Vice President of Indonesia on Friday. His estimate was lower because it didn't include the cost of repairing public schools, roads, and bridges. It was for homes only. The 7.6 magnitude earthquake devastated western Sumatra last week. The death toll is now up to about 700, but there's over 300 missing, so it's expected to rise. The Indonesian government hasn't released any estimate on the economic losses arising from the earthquake. This morning, actually late last night, Indonesia in the eastern part of the country was rocked by a 5.5 quake. You see this, this is the blue square that you need to look at. You see all of the other yellow squares that were going on. There's a tremendous amount of seismic activity in this area anyway, and there seems to be an awful lot at the current time. The blue square is about 2,200 miles to the east of the Sumatra area. This quake was originally put at a 6.1 by seismologists. However, the review had it down to 5.5. It was about 128 kilometers north of the provincial capital of Manokwari in Rabaul, in New Papua province. No reports of any damage or injuries. As if that area of the world is not plagued enough by earthquakes, we have to consider typhoons. The northern Philippines remained blacked out, cut off from communication this morning after Typhoon Parma struck. The storm is moving away from the country. There have only been 3 deaths confirmed so far, but no one knows. They haven't been able to get any information. 170,000 people were forcibly evacuated by police before the storm struck Saturday. If you see do we still have the graphic up? The southern part of this picture is the northern part of Luzon Island. And you see that the typhoon is beginning to move away. If we look at Typhoon Milor, this was keeping Typhoon Parma in the area. Milor was pushing down from the north. It swung by Philippine territory, kept Parma from moving out of the Philippine area. Milor has winds of about 125 miles per hour, and you can see from this course is on a vector to head straight for Japan. Japanese are watching this very closely. Meanwhile, in Sicily, far away on the other side of the globe, 14 people died and 10 were missing on Friday night after torrential rains in the northern part of the country triggered flooding and landslides. Hundreds of people were injured, including 10 seriously. 2 buildings collapsed in a mudslide. Sniffer dogs have been brought in. The main city of Sicily, Messina, said that they fear a heavy toll in some parts of the southern island as they still remain inaccessible. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, the typhoon that struck the Philippines and then progressed into that area, Typhoon Ketsana, last week, has now brought a death toll of about 162 people. The Red Cross is appealing for help for 200,000 displaced storm victims. 13 people still remain missing. Ketsana affected 14 provinces in Vietnam when it made landfall a week ago tomorrow. An estimated 3 million people have been affected by the typhoon. The Red Cross has made an appeal for $5 million to help 210,000 of the neediest people. We did have an earthquake in Japan this morning. We can probably bring that picture up. We discovered that picture as we were looking at the Indonesian earthquake. This was a 5.0 earthquake. It struck at about 9:35 a.m. local time this morning. It was about 485 miles north of Tokyo. We have no reports of any damage or injuries. We'll go to a word now from our sponsors, and we'll come back with the rest of the news. The U.S. reinsurance broker Guy Carpenter has agreed to a deal in which it would see it acquire London-based reinsurance broker Ratner McKenzie. Ratner McKenzie is owned by Houston Casualty Corporation Insurance Holdings. Founded in 1989, Ratner McKenzie specializes in group life, accident, and health reinsurance. It's got some specialty property and casualty lines too. It operates as a Lloyd's broker for insurance and reinsurance business on behalf of Houston Casualty. Carpenter said it will become a significant provider as a result of this deal of reinsurance broking services to Houston Casualty. Carpenter did not disclose the terms of the deal. McKenzie was bought by Houston Casualty in '99. The company has 57 employees based in London and New York. Houston Casualty is headquartered in Houston, Texas, with offices in the U.S., Bermuda, Ireland, Spain, and the U.K. The broker that Carpenter acquired places HCC's reinsurance programs in the London market. Peter Zaffino, president and CEO of Carpenter, said, "We have great respect for HCC and its management team, and we're very proud to have become a major trading partner as a result of this transaction." They have indeed become a major trading partner with Houston Casualty by acquiring Ratner McKenzie. That's a good move for Carpenter. This morning, in the Insurance Day, Richard Banks, the editor of the Insurance Day, had a very, very prescient article right on the front page in which he gave some salient points of an interview he had conducted with Nigel Barton, who is the CEO of Oxygen Insurance Brokers. I'm going to read some of the important parts of it. Insurance companies that do not support new broking ventures will, quote, only have themselves to blame, says Nigel Barton, if they find all their business outsourced, or I should say sourced, from monolithic intermediaries in the future. That was the message from Nigel Barton, who expressed disappointment at the way some elements of the underwriting community react to broker startups. Barton explained he was very proud of the business Oxygen has built in its first 5 years, but he acknowledged some challenges, including the effect of some elements of the underwriting community not supporting new broker players. This is very interesting. Barton insisted that his remarks were not driven purely by self-interest. Quote, "The fact is that when they wake up," being the reinsurance underwriters, "when they wake up 10 years later to find most of their business comes from the big houses wanting to get larger commissions from them, they will only have themselves to blame." Barton made his comments, of course, against a backdrop of increased scrutiny of the relationship between brokers and underwriters in the London market as consolidation continues and the powerful players become more powerful.